last year we should talk about Smoochie Fernandez. This is the Pope's ghostwriter, Archbishop Fernandez. He wrote a book. You know the book title, Matt?
Something like "Heal Me with Your Mouth."
Oh, it's so disgusting.
I mean, that's on par with Archbishop Paglia's homoerotic mural in his cathedral church.
Oh
It's
my
just
God, this is
sick.
horrible. I'm putting it on the screen. Archbishop Victor Manuel Fernandez wrote a book called "Heal Me with Your Mouth: The Art of Kissing." Apparently, this is like a bestseller in Vatican City. Is what I'm told. I'm just kidding.
Ugh.
Uh, what is going on here, people? Why is Pope Francis's ghostwriter also the author of "Heal Me with Your Mouth"? This is bad. This is disgusting. We talked about it before. I found the book cover. It's on the screen. It's super lame. It's almost like it's so lame and old school. It's almost cool again. But it has a statue of two people. I don't know if they're androgynous or whatnot. Marble statues about to kiss. Catholic priest, why are you writing this book? It's weird. It's gross. If you guys agree, leave a comment in the comment section. We are live right now, live this morning. Smoochie Fernandez, he says that everyone is wrong about this idea that the Pope shut down married priests. He explicitly states that the Pope allows for married priests because he's suggesting an Amazonian rite, and he should enculturate the liturgy among the indigenous people. So, and he points out what you just did too, Matt, and that is the original document stands.
Yep.
The original document stands. And so if we can put forth the principle of synodality, and we can have the local bishops in the Amazonian region move forward in this, well then, other bishops and the Pope can't stop it. That is synodality.
So the lady who wrote the article about his most recent comments, Dr. Micah Hickson, writing for LifeSite News, a few years ago, about a month after Amoris was released publicly, she wrote in May of 2016 for 1 Peter 5 an article called "On Exhortation, Mueller," referring to Cardinal Mueller, "resists and Fernandez reveals." Quote, "The Pope goes slow because he wants to be sure that the changes have a deep impact." We've talked about that on this show before, about he's in it for the long game, the long haul.
Which is the premise of Infiltration, my book. These guys know to go slow. They're revolutionaries, but they're purposeful. That's the Alta Vendita, is we got to go slow or it won't work.
Exactly. So he says, continuing on, quote, "The slow pace is necessary to ensure the effectiveness of the changes. He knows there are those hoping that the next pope will turn everything back around." Yep, right here. "If you go slowly, it's more difficult to turn things back." And further on in this interview in the Italian paper, Fernandez says, "You have to realize that he, Pope Francis, is aiming at reform that is irreversible." This is something else you and I discussed regarding the coming so-called reform of the Roman Curia. And he says, Fernandez ends by saying, "If one day he should sense that he's running out of time and doesn't have enough time to do what the Spirit is asking him," well, which Spirit? "You can be sure he, Pope Francis, will speed up," end quote.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, and it feels like that Francis has settled into a rhythm and a groove. I think they like it. There was kind of this idea when the whole McCarrick thing was dropping that there was sort of a scramble, but I think they've realized how to play the opposition, and I think they feel pretty confident.
Yep.
I want to read another Smoochie Fernandez quote. Smoochie Fernandez, who's allegedly the ghostwriter for Amoris, who's now weighing in heavy on the new Amazonian document. He says, "Francis specifies that when it is said that the priest is a sign of Christ, the head, one must understand Christ as the source of grace, especially in the Eucharist, not as a source of power. Therefore, the leadership of communities can be entrusted to lay leaders with authority," end quote. Now,
Yep.
I was talking to some people on Twitter about this. We were going back and forth, and a lot of people don't understand that liberal modernists in the Catholic Church, even cardinals, even popes maybe, they don't believe in holy orders like we do. They don't believe in the Council of Trent and the doctrine of holy orders, that it confers an indelible seal or character on the soul. It can't be removed. Modernist priests and clergy think of priesthood as functionary, not ontological. In fact, they even sometimes teach this in the academies. They see it more like a Lutheran.
Right, that you're simply a representative of the community, and the community is the one that confers the authority or whatever.
Exactly. And then the community can change that.
Yes.
And if, you decide to take a hiatus or go on vacation, you take off your collar and your cassock and you're just one of the boys.
Yep.
That's how they see it. It's functionary. So you're only really a priest when you're up there on stage. Otherwise, you be you.
Yep.
That's how they see it. And this also is how they can justify their immorality. You can have a cocaine-fueled orgy in Vatican apartments at the CDF because, hey, we took off our tab collars, right?
Yeah.
And put them on the coffee table before they brought out the goods. This is a really corrupt and wrong way of understanding the Catholic priesthood. And so when you see statements like this, they're saying, they're talking about lay leaders with authority. They don't really care about our scrupulosity over, well, women can't receive the indelible character of holy orders. They don't even really believe in that. All they really want is Susan from the parish to be up front, functioning in a leadership role.
Yep.
That's all that matters to them. Whether or not the bishop lays hands on her and says a prayer of ontological conferral of the seal of holy orders, or if he uses the language of commission, which, by the way, was in the Querida document. Did you notice that? Bishops commissioning women. It's in the document, people.
Yes, it is.
So whether the local bishop says, I ordain you or I commission you, they don't care.
Nope.
Susan from the parish will be up there wearing robes, doing the readings, preaching, overseeing everything.
This is a quote from the document itself.
Yes.
Paragraph 89. The laity can proclaim God's word, teach, organize committees, celebrate certain sacraments, seek different ways to express popular devotion, and develop the multitude of gifts that the Spirit pours out in their midst. And then further on in the document it says, in a synodal church, those women who in fact have a central part to play in Amazonian communities should have access to positions, including ecclesial services, that do not entail holy orders, meaning the sacrament, and that can better signify the role that is theirs. Here it should be noted that these services entail stability, public recognition, and a commission from the bishop.